Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So what I have here today is the T-Mobile edition of the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip3 5G. So let's go ahead and open her up and see what we got. This should be the black version if I remember right. What I'll go ahead and do is while I'm unboxing it, I'll go ahead and list the specifications and let it scroll down the side of the screen instead of talking about everything while I'm doing it. Okay, yep, so what I have here is the Phantom Black version. So let's go ahead and open it up, see what we got. A little bit dirty in here. So, got the phone, of course. Got the little pin piece they give you in order to open up the SIM card. It looks like Samsung is getting really cheap on the things that they ship with the phones these days. You got a USB-C to USB-C cord. Got the quick start guide and another quick start guide in a different language. That's it for what's inside here, and that's apparently it for the packaging now. So no more chargers, apparently no more on-the-go cables as well. All you get now is just a quick start guide and a USB-C to USB-C cable, and that is it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the phone itself. Let's remove the cover. Pretty nice. Got your power on button here. You got your volume rocker. Here is where your SIM card goes. You got a speaker in the bottom, your USB-C plug. Unfortunately, just like the Fold 3, the Flip 3 does not, and I guess just like the predecessors, it does not contain a slot for a micro SD card. Let's double check that. Yep, so here is your slot for your SIM card, and that is it. This one here is the 256 gigabyte version. Let's go ahead and power it on. Okay, you got the standard welcome screen. It's telling me to insert a SIM card. I'll do that later. Okay, so it's demanding I do it from the very start. So now apparently they made a change here where you can only go through the setup process if you've inserted a SIM card onto here and not beforehand. Let's check this out. I hit start. Now it's telling me to insert a SIM card. So that is interesting. I guess there's no way out of that. All right, well, I had no interest in putting my SIM card in just yet, but I guess I'll go ahead and do that. So I'll be back. Before we do that, let's go ahead and compare the two. So right here on my left-hand side is the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip, the very first edition, and on the right is the Flip 3. Let's see if we can compare the sizes together. Actually, the sizes are almost identical, it feels like. Yeah, it looks like it might just be a millimeter off in terms of length, if even that much. They're pretty close to each other. You see the very first one is really shiny. As a matter of fact, it's a finger magnet. And then on the new one, it's a nice matte color. So you don't got that reflection like you do on here. You can see the reflection coming off of it while you got nothing here, except for up here. And this is in a little display screen. Let's see if that one come on. No, doesn't come on yet. Got your two cameras on here, side by side. This one, your two cameras are vertical with your flash. Buttons are placed pretty much similar. Again, you can tell just a slight height difference here between the new and the old. In terms of thickness, they look pretty similar. The new one might be a little bit thicker. I don't know how well you can tell in here, but the original one is pretty rounded off on the back. This one's still rounded, but it's more squared off. And other than that, the screen appears to be about the same size. Both has the hole punch out in the dead center. You can kind of sort of, both of them, you can actually tell the impression on where the crease is. It's a little bit more defined in the first one. You can tell it's there on the 3, but it's not as obvious. It's like on the first one, it's like a dip right here down dead center, but it's a real caved in dip. I mean, it's definitely noticeable. Here, it feels like a little lump, and that's about it. It's there. You can tell it's there, but it's not nearly as bad. All right, so let me go ahead and pop out the SIM card from one, and let's pop it into the other. One thing I'm noticing when they're closed, the 3 has a bit bigger gap right here where the hinge is compared to the first one. The first one doesn't have much of a gap there. You can see a sliver of light shining through it, but it's not that bad. On the 3, that gap is pretty huge, and it gets smaller as it gets to the end. Not really that big of a deal. Doesn't detract from the looks or anything, but it is there. And I know people are going to be commenting about it and such. I am quite surprised though that they are forcing you to put in a SIM card just to use it, just to get it started. A lot of times you could set these up and just set it up as Wi-Fi only, because that's what I normally do. But I guess they're starting to prevent that. There you go. Yep, now it's letting me through now that I put a SIM card in there. Of course, I do need to restart it. Standard legal stuff, you got to agree to things. Terms policy, I'm not agreeing to diagnostic data. Wants Wi-Fi, I'm just going to skip that for now. I'm just going to go through and run right through it without even bothering with logging in or anything. It's just saying I don't have a data plan on this number, which I don't, so I'm not going to bother with it. Let's go ahead and close that. Get my Wi-Fi, I'm not going to hook any of that up. I was thinking to the next one. Okay, so it's back to this. Okay, so by the looks of it, since I don't have a data plan on here, it is requiring that I either set up a data plan, which I'm not going to do, or I connect to Wi-Fi. Just like requiring a SIM card is new, at least new to me, requiring Wi-Fi connection or requiring data is kind of new to me as well. So let me go ahead and I'll log into my Wi-Fi and I'll be right back. Okay, got my Wi-Fi set up. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure if this is something that is being required because it's a carrier phone, or if this is something that's new with all phones, because with the Fold 3 that I tried, I was able to go through the whole setup without using a SIM card in it. But again, that was a unlocked phone direct from Samsung. This one, on the other hand, is a carrier locked phone from T-Mobile. So it could be just the fact that it's a carrier locked phone, they expect you to go ahead and have a SIM card as well. I'm assuming that's what it is. But again, I hadn't dealt with this kind of an issue with other T-Mobile phones before either, so I don't know if this is something new that's coming across the line or what. If it is, it kind of sucks if you ask me, but that's just my opinion. So I'm not going to copy. Again, I'm going to try to just skip through all the logins if it allows me to. Okay, skip the Google. Just turn everything off. I'll skip the protection for now. I'll just go back through and redo everything later. Okay, now it's asking for the Samsung account. I'll skip that. I will skip that. Diagnostic data, turn that off. Okay, it's just a little how to take care of your phone to protect it. It's telling you when you fold your phone, make sure there's nothing inside that can catch it, like a card, keys, or coins, because that will scratch your screen. It's letting you know that the phone is not dust resistant, so you got to be careful with that. The phone is, unlike the previous versions, this phone is IPX8 rated, so that's good. So it's water resistant for IPX8. Immersion in any liquid other than fresh water, such as salt water or alcohol, can damage your phone. It's telling you not to remove the protective film on the main screen or apply other films or stickers, as doing so can damage your screen. And it's letting you know that the phone contains magnets, so keep it away from credit cards, implantable medical devices, and other devices that may be affected by magnets. Okay, let's go to the next one. Alright, so it's all set up. Here it's giving me an option to either finish or explore the Galaxy Z. Let's explore it. So right here, get the most from your cover screen. On the cover screen, swipe right for notifications, left for widgets, or down for quick settings. Turn on always on display for the cover screen, so the info you need is always there. So unlike the first one, this one you can swipe left, right, and you can also swipe down on here. You can customize the cover screen through the settings, so you can put your own background on it or clock style, or you can add widgets to it. You can answer calls without opening the phone. Just swipe right on the cover screen to answer it and switch straight to speakerphone. You can set it up so that it'll answer when you open it and it'll hang up when you close the phone. You can use the camera while the phone's closed. So it says here, press the side key twice to open the camera app, then press the volume key to take pictures or record videos without opening the phone. You can preview shots on the cover screen. So turn on cover screen preview so your subject can see what your shot looks like before you take it. That's nice. Flex your phone, that's similar to what the previous one was. You can just bend it halfways. Top half will be your camera, the bottom half will be your controls. Same with video calling. So that's similar as the first one. Yep, same here, same with the audio one, videos. The controls will be on the bottom and your screen will be up top. You can open apps in split view with Apps Edge. So that's good. Put one app on top of the screen and another app on the bottom of the screen. You can save your current split screen layout. So when you're running apps in split screen view, you can save the layout as an app pair. Open the Apps Edge panel and tap to reopen the app pair later. Discover experimental features in Settings Lab. So try out experimental features in labs before they're officially launched. Use all apps in multi-window. Rotate apps to any orientation. Change app aspect ratios and more. Share power with another device. So this has power sharing enabled as well. And when it's folded up, it would actually be this piece right here, not the one with the camera on it, but right here. So this is probably where your NFC is as well, and that's where the battery is. So apparently you got enhanced privacy settings for the web, and that's it for the tips. So let's go ahead and finish up. Oh, that screen looks pretty nice. And then from here, everything else should be pretty basic. Flip up, flip, swipe down. You got your settings here, or notification windows, quicks. If you don't have one of the new phones, this is how you turn off your Samsung phones now. When you're at the home screen, you swipe down to here, swipe down a little bit more, you got your little power button on the very top. Let's see if you can see that. You press that and that gives you your power options. Power off, restart emergency mode. By default, if you press and hold power button to turn it off like you do with the older Samsung phones, this one comes up with Bixby now. And there it is. Bixby comes up by pressing it down. You can change that in the settings. You can power off your phone this way now is what they're doing, is telling you, but you can do it with two buttons. The power button and the volume button. That, holding both of those down will do a forced power off. Your settings window, pretty standard like all previous ones. Checking to see if there's any software updates to the brand new phone. It looks like they've already got an update to it. The phone just came in. It hasn't even been out that long. I guess it's been out a few months now. A couple months. Yep, so it's already got an update. That's downloading. I'm not going to bother installing it just yet. So I'm at 58% power now. I'm going to have to charge it up. That's install later. First of all, let's change this display timeout. 5 seconds is just too fast. Or 30 seconds. Change that to 5 minutes. I'll change it to 10 minutes for now. Got the Edge panel. So those are turned on at the moment. Accidental touch protection, which I generally have on. Show charging information, screensaver. I like putting mine in dark mode. So here's the Edge screen. Now let's see. So here is the pairing that it was talking about. Let's see if you can see it in here. You pretty much have like two icons inside a little folder. So if you use that, both items will open up on split screen view. But if you don't have like in a folder, you have it separately like how the rest of the icons are, then just that will open up. Like here's the or actually I think that's Duo. I think that was Google Duo that tapped on. Let me see. Let's do Chrome. So there's Chrome. Now if we open up on the folder that has the multiple icons, it's got YouTube and Samsung Internet. So there it is. YouTube is on top. Samsung Internet is on the bottom. You can either open up in the top, bottom, or full. And if you've already got some split screen, you can actually open up as a pop-up as well. So in order to do the split screen, you need to first have one that's already open full screen. And now go ahead and come across here. Let's see, I've got the calculator on it right now. Now let's go ahead and open up the calendar. So at this point, I can either drag it to the top and it'll open up to the top. If I drag it to the bottom, it'll open on the bottom. And again, if I drag it to the center, it'll just do a pop-up. Let's move it to the top though. So there you go. Now I've got the calendar on top, got the calculator on the bottom. So you'd hold on to it, drag it. If you put it right in the center, it'll open up as a pop-up, and there it is. So I can do another pop-up over it, apparently. Yep, so now I got multiple pop-ups. You can see here, so now I got two pop-ups. Basically, there's a little bar on it. When it turns blue, that means that's the one that's active. But that's also how you would move it. You have to hold it on that bar. Now you can drag and drop it around. Now open up something full screen, but it opened up in the background. Even in your recents menu, you can see this window has got a split screen. These right here are pop-ups. Then there's a full screen right there. It kind of shows you what it is in here. If you want to remove it, if you look at the very bottom, there's actually a little remove icon. Drag it down to the removal, and now it's gone. Now the pop-ups are gone. And here you can, on the very bottom, you got your little hamburger icon. Here you can edit what icons shows up on your little Edge window here. Okay, let's go ahead and close those. See what kind of apps you got pre-installed here. your standard Samsung apps. Yeah, these are the standard Google apps: YouTube, Maps, Gmail, Chrome, Duo, Photos. You got Microsoft, LinkedIn, Office, OneDrive, and Outlook. Those are becoming pretty standard as well. And then with the Samsung, you got AR Zone, Bixby, Galaxy Wearable, Health, Members, Samsung TV Plus, which is their new free TV streaming. And you got Smart Things. These are pretty standard too nowadays. You got your Play Store. Well, let's see if they have any bloatware installed on here. You got Spotify, it's bloatware, YouTube Music, that's probably Google causing that. Facebook and Amazon Shopping, so yes, you do have bloatware on here. Let's see if we can uninstall it or if it's forced to stay on there. Oh, thank goodness. You're not forced to keep it, so that's good. You're able to uninstall the bloatware if you don't want it. Yep, looks like nothing is locked into the firmware, so thank you for that, Samsung and T-Mobile. So here is the cover screen. So that is for this right here. So you'll be able to change what shows up here. Double tapping does allow it to come on when it's off, so that's good. And turning it off by double tapping. So there's no music playing, no alarms. Looks like a timer. And then adding widgets. Here's notifications. So scrolling, once you're at the main screen on the cover screen, and there's your notifications. So let's go back into settings. So you can change your clock style. A bunch of different options. You can do one with pictures or just the clock. You can change the color of it. Looks like that's the color of the actual clock. Yep, it is. So you can change the background image. You can choose from wallpapers or choose from the gallery. Multiple time clocks where you have local and some other location. And then widgets, let's see what widgets you have available. So music is what we saw earlier. You can choose weather, you can have your schedule, you can have next alarm, a timer, which we saw on there, as well as Samsung Health. Turn them all on. You also have the ability to reorder what shows up first, what shows up second, and so on. Got your standard biometrics, face recognition, fingerprints, more biometric options. So you got unlock transition effect, you got Samsung Find My Mobile. So under advanced features, you can set up so that you can call and text on other devices, continue apps on other devices. This is where you would actually link your phone to Windows, which I've done on one of my other phones. Android Auto is here, Quick Share. This is the labs, the experimental ones. Here's where you would change the side key. Right now, if you double press it, it quick launches the camera, but you can have it open Bixby or you can have it open an app of your choice. And again, here's the press and hold of the power button, or the button formerly known as the power button. Currently it's set to wake Bixby, and from here you can also change it to set it back to the normal power off. Motions and gestures, so these are the little gestures you can do with your phone, or motions in order to do certain things, like lift to wake the phone or wake the screen, double tap to turn on the screen, double tap to turn it off, keep screen on while viewing. That will probably use up your battery a lot faster. So what it does is it uses your front camera to detect your face and to see if you're actually looking at the screen or not. Probably useful, but again, it will eat up your battery faster. Alert when phone picked up. Okay, so if you miss a call or a message, it'll vibrate when you pick up the phone. Mute incoming calls and alarms by putting your hand over the screen or turning your phone face down. Open and close apps and features with the fingerprint sensor and palm swipe to capture. You got one-handed mode, so temporarily scaled down the display size for easier control of your phone with just one hand. Video call effects, so if you want to change your background color, add a background image, you can do that from here. Dual messenger, sign into a second account in your favorite social apps. You got the game launcher on here, send an SOS message. From here, if you press the side key 3 times or set it to 4 times, it'll auto call somebody, it'll attach a picture, and it'll also record your voice and auto recording and send it off, and then you can choose who you'll send it to. So in case an emergency happens, you can send an SOS to somebody on your emergency list. You got a tips and help page now. So here where you go on how to basically discover on how to use the phone, the little features here and there that they add into it. It's got a translate built into it. Emojis. So if you have questions on how to utilize your phone better, this will be a way one spot you can check for the tips and helps on it. Here's the camera. Single take. So with the single take, it's where the camera automatically captures a wide variety of pictures and clips from any scene, and then you pick the one that you like. Portrait, photo, video. Here's more. So here you got AR Doodle, Pro, Panorama, Portrait Video, Night Video or Night Mode, Food, Pro, Super Slow-Mo, Slow-Mo, Hyperlapse, and Director's View. Director's View is where it utilizes the back camera and the front camera. So whatever you're recording, it also records the front cameras, and it basically records you as well. Okay, Super Stabilization, HDR, tracking autofocus, grid lines, location tagging, shooting methods, voice commands, palm, or showing your palm where it'll take a picture if you hold your palm up at it, floating shutter button, filters, and let's see. So let's turn the camera on while it's closed. Do that by double pressing the power button. And there it is, it's in photo mode. Here's video mode. Okay, so photo and video are your two options, I guess. Okay, so that's how you change between the two cameras. Yep. And then pressing the power button once turns it off. Double tap, you can bring the screen up. And again, you can swipe. If you swipe to the left, you can get to the dynamic lock screen options. Here's the one I mentioned earlier about the flex mode. So if you bend it, so the top screen is going to be your video screen. The bottom screen is now your controls. And then if you fully open it, then it takes up the whole screen again. And again, like I said, if you fold it, and there you go. This is pretty much how a lot of the apps are going to start working, the ones that are optimized for the Flip. The Samsung apps for sure should do this. All right, well, this has been the unboxing and a quick run through of the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and y'all stay safe out there.